Righto, tally-ho chaps. Hope you can see that. Just let me know in the comments if you can see that. I've just got to set up a few things and we'll get going. Done a lot of benchmarks, a lot of gaming benchmarks. I'll just... Okay, start off with that, I guess. Let me have a look. Now, I'll answer any questions I can. Oh, I'll just turn that off. I'll try and be as quick as I can running through all this. Yeah, second, all right. I'll try and answer what I can. I'm going to be gaming a little bit in a minute, and like, yeah, if you want to super chat, that highlights it. If you want to do that, it's up to you, whatever. But I'll try and answer what I can. So, hello, Krish Rishi Kanani, is that right? Oh, probably butchered that. And Saliman Muhammad. Close enough, I think. Welcome, hello. Now, yes, so this is the 5-strike score. This is the 13-inch model, so it's not the 15. If you don't already know, you can only get the 15-inch in the US. So I've got this 16 gigs RAM. It's got the GTX 1050 in it, and it has the i7, so the quad-core i7 with the hyper-threading. So that's the specs of this model. This is the score for 5-strike. Okay, so that's a pretty good score, I'd say. Let's go back. Let's go to Cinebench. So if we go to Cinebench, I hope you can see there. I think you can see. I can see pretty well. Yeah, so if you go to Cinebench, let's see if I can get in a bit closer. See if it focuses. I can just see. I can just make it out, I think. So anyway, Cinebench, we're talking 649 multi-core, 166 single core, and 91.73 frames per second. Okay, price, yeah, it's around 3,800 in Australia. It's like $2,500 US or 2 or something like that. Very expensive, and yeah, what can I say? Very expensive. Now, if you want to compare the MacBook Pro, so this is a 13-inch MacBook Pro, and they're the scores of the MacBook Pro. So it's much faster than the MacBook Pro. Now, this is 7th generation. It's only dual core, but yeah, that is what it is. So let me see. Can I focus in there? All right. So Cinebench scores very good. It's much faster than the previous 7th generation dual cores, as you'd expect. That's the 5-strike. This is the 5-strike stress test, and it passed that with flying colours, 98.4. So that runs through the test like 20 times, and it can't drop below 97%, and it passed that, no problems. What do we got here? This is the Geekbench score, OpenCL, and just to compare to the Mac here, it's not really fair, but because this has a graphics card, but the Mac, yeah, 32,000, and that's typical of anything. So this Mac represents anything 7th generation dual core, because even the PCs, XPS 13, whatever, you know, they all perform pretty much the same. Yeah, XPS 15, the king, eh? Long live the king. All right. Compared to the XPS 15, well, it's a hell of a lot more expensive. It's a different computer, I guess. It's not as fast. There's no way knowing it's as fast as the XPS 15, but I do like it. I actually really do like it. The build quality is really good. I do love the concept of being able to take this screen off. That's fantastic. The keyboard's really good, trackpad's good. I said the build quality, the display's really nice. It doesn't get as bright as the Mac here, but it's pretty good. It is a bit glossy, but yeah, what are you gonna do? The bezels look a bit big, so you know it's nothing like Infinity Edge, but what you'll notice is it's a tablet too, so it's actually good to have a bit of bezel when you have a tablet. So anyway, let's go on to some more benchmarks we got here. Geekbench again, and again I'll just compare it to the Mac, which represents of course all the 7th generation Intel CPUs, and you can see there 4800 versus 5068 and 9866 versus 13,959, might as well say 14,000. So sorry for the ghetto setup, but yeah, I'm just trying to get this content out as quick as I can because I know you guys like it. So there you have those scores. What else we got? Hello. So we've got Ravi in, we got Lamine, Krishna, Karani, Ravi. Hello, how you all doing out there? Welcome. Now, what else we got? Okay, this is what disappointed me when I first benchmarked the SSD in here. So it's an M.2 NVMe Ssd. Very fast read speeds. Have a look at those read speeds. Very fast, but the write speeds are fairly average. I mean, SATA SSDs, we're talking, you know, the old SATAs can do 550, so it's not much faster than SATA. Now, I was very disappointed at the start, but when I think about it, this only has USB-C, so I don't think you can get anything that can actually write to this device faster than 600 megabytes per second. I don't think there's too many USB-Cs that can write over 600 megs per second. So you're probably not going to run into a bottleneck anywhere because the read speeds are plenty fast enough. So that's good for video editing or anything like that. The read speeds are super fast. The write speeds, it's probably never going to be a bottleneck, and I don't notice any difference. I do notice that this actually does have a bit of coil whine. When I open certain screens, it does have a bit of coil whine, which is the first computer I've had with coil whine, so first laptop anyway. Now, just go through some of the comments here. I have an XPS, it has thermal problems. I've been given 3 replacements. Okay, really? That's no good. Hopefully they sort that out for you. Other than that, it's fantastic. That's good. Hello, Milan. How are you? All right. Now, let's get on to the battery report. So this is fascinating, this battery report, if you can read it. I'll maybe zoom in a bit. So let's go here. Can you read that? Sorry about this. Can you read that battery report there? Have a look at the 2 batteries, the size of it. So we're talking, I think the ZenBook Pro has I think it was a 67 watt hour or 67,000. This has virtually 80,000 when you add the 2 batteries together, and you'll see that its capacity is higher than its design capacity, so it holds more charge than it's actually designed to hold. So already I know this has got more battery than a lot of 15-inch laptops when you add the 2 batteries together. So what that means is the battery life on this is going to be phenomenal. You don't have to be a genius to work that out. If you're talking 8,000, my dog going nuts, sorry about that. If you're talking 80,000 milliwatt hours, that is a huge battery for a 13-inch laptop. So you're going to be talking over 10 hours battery life. I'll be very surprised if you don't get over 10 hours battery life. So let's game, eh? Let's see how it games. 2 gigabyte GTX 1050. Very disappointed it's not 4 gigabytes, but let's just see how it games. Actually, it might run A to 64. Let's run A to 64 just to show you something that I've noticed. Let's go here. Stability test. All right, let's bring up that. Now this can burst over 4 gigahertz, so it's really killer, this CPU in this. It can ramp over 4 gigahertz. It's supposed to be 1.9 gigahertz up to 2.11, but it can easily burst 4 gigahertz. Usually when it's doing all cores, it'll do about 3 gigahertz for a sustained period, and then it will drop down to about 2 gigahertz, which is not thermal throttling. It is not throttling, but it will drop the speeds down once it gets to over like 80 degrees, and I'll show you that. So let's start this test. Okay, you probably won't be able to see here, but I'll tell you the temperatures on the right. You just keep an eye on that gigahertz. So we're doing 3 gigahertz now. Here it says 3 gigahertz. All right, so it's supposed to be 1.9, so it's bursting. Now the temperatures now are getting up to around 70 degrees, and we'll just keep on looking at this. 73 degrees at the moment, still at 2.99 gigahertz. And you'll see what will happen is once it gets over 80, then it will drop down to about 2 gigahertz. So that's not throttling, that is just going back to its normal speed, because it cannot sustain that burst speed forever. That's the one thing about the 15 watts. Like a 45 watt might be able to do that, but let's have a look. Keeping an eye on it. Still 2.9. Um, 2.8 now, it's just dropped down. Actually, it's really bursting for a long time this time. That's a long time. It's hitting up to 77, so it's going to hit 80 soon. 80, it's just hit 80 on core 4. Okay. So it doesn't throttle, so straight away I'm very happy, and it burst for a really long time. As you can see, still 2.8, so it's dropped from 3 gigahertz, now it's 2.79. Now it's over 80 degrees. Wow, this is bursting for a really long time. Now I'll just read some comments and I'll wait for that inevitably to throttle down a little bit. 2.7 now. Wow, that's the longest it's ever been. Okay. There's a lot of comments here I can't read. Yes, it is overpriced. Fat boy. Casper, can you do GPU redo test? I can try. Yeah, I'll put that in my benchmarks. I'm going to game on it soon, so you'll see its frames per second. Oh, there you go. It's dropped to 2 gigahertz. If you don't already know, it hit 80 degrees, and as soon as it drops to 2 gigahertz, the temperature will drop from 80 back down to the 60s. Boom, just like that, straight away. So it's not I'll say it again. It's not throttling. It's just going back to its normal speed. Is there ghosting? All right. No, there's not. It's not a gaming laptop, so don't expect too much. I'll better turn that off, and we'll start some gaming, eh? And this is how I do all my benchmarks. I do them back to back. I don't let it cool down or anything like that. All right, we'll close that. We'll start some games. Hi from Perth. I'm buying the Dell. Which Dell are you buying, mate? Perth. It's probably early in Perth. What is it? It's 1 o'clock here. It's like 11 or 10 or something in Perth. All right, what are we going to try first? Bit of COD. Come on. All right, let's read some comments here. I play only light games on your XPS, no throttling, Milan. That's good to hear. Let's see this game here. Okay, let's join in. Let's play. Don't know how long the phone battery is going to last, so try and make this as quick as possible. I need to open what it's called, MSI Afterburner. Let's go. That just screwed up the game. Okay, as you can probably hear, it at the moment. What am I going to do here? The game's gone weird. It just crashed on me. Is that what happened? There you go, it just crashed. Now that's because I was opening MSI. I should have had that open first. That made it crash. All right, let's start it again. Oh, see, 4.1 gigahertz it's going to. No, we don't need safe mode. Okay, do you have AIDA64 on your XPS? Oh, this keeps on crashing. Oh yeah, well there you go. Live crashing. How about I restart it? I'll just quickly restart that and I'll have a look at some comments here. Can you do GPU? It's a 13-inch Lacars, and that's the only ones they have in Australia. So yeah. What else? I just undervolt the CPU and GPU. That's not a bad idea. Let's start this time. We'll start Afterburner first. Let's try and get you a bit of better view there. Okay, now let's. Yep, we got Riva Tuner. And let's start Steam, see how we go. So I was doing a live stream before and it just crashed because someone called me on the phone. And what happened is I had an iPad, I had two iPhones and I had the Mac, and they all started ringing and it just killed my internet for some reason. Don't know why that is. Hopefully that doesn't happen again. Sorry, I do have a cold, so I'm a bit congested in the breathing department. So let's play some COD. Preparing to launch, okay. Now I have actually played this before, so I know it works. So I don't know what the issue is. Apologies. Here we go, that's a bit better. So obviously you can see the temperatures, frames per second, and how much memory it's using. And this is a 2 gigabyte GTX 1050. Bit disappointed there because if it was 4 gigabytes, it would be much better. Full screen. Who has actually got this game anyway? Actually runs really good on this. Amazing. Right, let's play a public match. Standard. Dominator. We're gonna dominate, baby. Now I'm using a controller, so yeah, I'll suck, but it's just easier for me to use from back here. Also connected with Ethernet, so it's living. Alright. Is it max Q? I don't think so. I'm gonna dominate. Like the Dominator. Oh, you can hear it taking off. Can you hear it? Actually sounds like a Dyson, not as loud, but the way the air comes out the side. Excuse my voice. The way the air comes out the side, it sounds like a Dyson, but not as loud. Try and move that there. All right, let's go. Let's dominate, baby. So if it had 4 gigabytes, you can see it's already using 1.5 gig of the graphics memory already. So it's going to use it all, no problems. And that's why I want the 4 gigabyte. If it had the 4 gigabyte, this would be awesome. But in saying that, it does play really well. So I'll play some PUBG. Got to play some PUBG. So I'll just quickly play this to give you an idea of the frames per second, and then get into some PUBG. Dominator. Waiting for everybody to join. I'll just put that to the side so I can see a bit. What's going on here? All right, let's go. So look at that, 90 frames or 100 frames per second. Now this is at 1080 normal settings. So whatever the default normal settings are, 1080p. So look at the frames per second. That is fantastic. You can't tell me it doesn't game. I will be doing video editing tests, so yeah, stay tuned for that. Okay. Fantastic. 90 frames per second, that is awesome. And so you can see in the 60s, thermals, very good. And I have played it for a while. This afternoon I played it, and yeah, in the 60s seems to be the go. Now it is not exactly quiet. You can hear it probably. You won't be able to hear me that much. Oh, I got taken from behind. Okay, look at that, 100 frames per second, 1080p, normal settings, which would probably be medium, I guess normal settings are. Oh. My excuse is using this controller. But anyway, you can just see it. It just plows through this, no problem. Yeah, it is a bit loud, but it's not going to go over 60 degrees on this. So let's play some PUBG, eh? That's the one I care about. So, I mean, I don't even know the maps on this game yet. Okay, yep, all right, let's finish this. Okay. So in the 60s, it used all the memory, as you saw, 2 gigabytes, it used the whole lot. So 4 gigabytes would have been much better. But obviously it's not made for gaming. It's not made for gaming, so I guess you can't complain too much. But for the price, you'd want, you'd want a 4 gigabyte. All right, let's play some PUBG. As you can see, the fans are ramping down now. But will it play PUBG at 60 frames per second? So I have it set to, what do you got here? Have a look at some chat. 60, yeah, not too bad, eh? It's not max Q, dominate baby. How can I get these temps and mem display? Oh, okay, so you just use MSI Afterburner, and that has Riva Tuner in it, so you just use that. So this is 1080p. I've got it set 1080p, pretty much all low settings, except medium settings for the textures, because I want the textures to look okay. Let's play. Yeah, baby. PUBG. Now, how's my battery going on my phone here? Yeah. iPhone. All right. So I'm going to have lots of Chinese people in here. They'll probably be swearing, so I might want to turn it down a bit. Ooh, massive cramp. Yeah, you just download MSI Afterburner and you're good to go. Just, you got to change some settings in MSI Afterburner. Now, in the lobby, I ignore the frames per second because the more people there, the lower they go. So as you can see, the memory here, have a look, it's already used the 2 gigabytes already. You really do need a 4 gigabyte card to play this at its best. But in saying that, it actually plays it pretty well, considering it's a 2 gigabyte. It's definitely very playable, and to play this, I mean, doesn't get much harder. I mean, the frames per second are, like, they need to optimize this game so much. I can imagine if they do optimize it, it'll run even better. So let's go, baby, let's dominate. Yeah, on the XPS 15, I get frames dropped on this game because this is just a pig of a game. It's not very well designed at the moment. So we've got 30 frames per second, 40 frames per second, 1080p, medium textures, and a lot of the other stuff is low. Where am I going? Quarry. Oh, look at those frames. Oh, they drop. But that's the game. That's not the computer. That's the game. It's not throttling. You can see. Oh, hello. This is gonna be a party. Shooting range, eh? So 50 frames per second. Got to be happy with that. To 1080p medium. So a lot of the other settings are on low, but 1080p medium. Yeah, I mean, it's not a high refresh rate monitor. You do notice when you turn in and stuff, yeah. It's not real ghosting. It's not ghosting, but it just, yeah, you feel a little bit of lag. But, you know, every 60 hertz monitor I played with is exactly the same. So it's not any better or worse. Let's see if I can bum rush this dude from behind. Come on, get up, get up. I know a dude landed down here somewhere, so 60 frames per second. Ho ho, baby, let's go. Obviously he went in here. Where'd he go though? Either we're both blind or what's going on. Where has he gone? 50 frames per second in the 60s again, using up all the memory there. Definitely the 2 gigabytes is a bit of a limitation there, but otherwise, look at it, 70 frames per second. Got to be happy with that. Now you probably can hear it, it is fairly loud. Well, we got into the 70s with the CPU there, okay. Let's see if the frame rates drop. 70's nothing, really, that's nothing. Like I've reviewed a lot of laptops, they get in the 90s, like 80s, 90s, the max, they get in the 100 degrees, like they get in the hundreds, so that's nothing. And still cranking on 60 frames per second. And actually on this screen it looks pretty good. It's only medium and a lot of the other settings are on low, but oh, I'll just put that up, sorry about that. Sorry about that, didn't realise the droop there, but yeah, 67 degrees, 50 frames still, no throttle in. In the circle, it's not going to throttle. If it's going to throttle, it throttles by now, so I have confidence that this is a 60 frame per second 1080p medium-ish settings. So compared to the XPS 15, you can do high settings, 60 frames per second most games. This will be a medium settings, and the main limitation is that it's not the CPU. The CPU can burst to 4 gigahertz. No, gaming, it'll be bursting pretty fast now. The limitation is that 2 gigabytes here. Look, 60, 70 frames per second. Hello. Oh, no, don't kill me. Don't kill me. It's Christmas time for him. Let's go back up. Oh, yeah. Oh, okay. I'll leave it there because it's pretty late where I am. But you can see it games well. The scores are fantastic. And stay tuned for my review. I'll just have a quick look at the questions, and just let me know if whatever you want tested on this. I will do my best to test it for you. So how do I get out of this? It's not working. Hello. Okay. We'll just have a quick look at the questions if there's any, and just let me know what you want tested. Let's put that down there. PUBG, baby, that's the way. PUBG. Do you even PUBG, bro? 60C, yep, okay. Thanks. Thermals are good in this machine. Yeah, the thermals are really good. I'm really impressed. It is a little loud. It's the only negative, maybe, but every gaming laptop or every laptop that you use, when you're gaming or rendering and that, they are loud anyway. So everybody's a PUBG player. Yeah, that's the way, baby. Let's go, baby. Who watches Dr. Disrespect? Is he the best streamer out there or what? No way. CPU, why not throttling? No, it doesn't throttle. Can you test Witcher 3? I can put that in my benchmark, so I will do that in the full review. If they are separate on separate coolers, yes, the GPU is in the base, the CPU is in the screen. and the M.2 is in the screen as well. Yes, I can see your comments, and anyone's welcome to super chat if they want to. So, all right, let's see, 66 frames per second. I'm going to do this. Does anyone do this where they just jump out at the end and there's like, there's people like AFK and you just knock them out? Like, that happened by accident. Like, I was just AFK, I come back in the room and I jumped down and I looked around me and there was like 10 people. I'm like, what's going on here? And then when I landed, there was just 10 people AFK. So I had to knock them out. But apparently a lot of people do this. It's what... We'll see. We'll see if there's anyone AFK. And if you don't do that, yeah, now you're gonna see it. It looks cool when you see like, 10 people all parachute in at the same time, and they land at the same time. It looks weird. All right, let's have a look. Oh, Alt. See, all these people are AFK now. A lot of them, they're just trying to get cheap kills. Or I don't know if they'll all be AFK. It'll be that one's not obviously. I'll just see. Like, I never even knew people done this until the other day when I was actually really AFK. So I'll show you what it's like with so many players. Oh, what's going on there? He just hung up a bit. So he's not AFK, that bloke. So I'm going straight for that bloke who's not AFK. Here, come here. How do I punch with this? Oh, it's the trigger. Look at this scumbag, eh? Look at him. He's going around thinking he's king. He's just knocking out people. I cannot do it with a controller, please. Die. Oh. Oh. Oh, well, there you go. Anyway, he was doing 70 frames per second with a lot of people there. I'll catch you in the next one, guys. I'll have a quick look through the comments. All right, I'll leave it here. I'll catch you in the next one. My battery's going to go flat soon anyway. The bezels are bigger though, yeah, but it is a tablet as well. You've got to remember that. Do you want me to detach the screen? All right, I'll do that and then I'll rock out of here. Let's detach the screen. All right, so there's two ways you can detach it. There's a button, there's a button here that detaches it. And all the time I keep on pressing on this because it's near the arrow, because I open up things. I keep on pressing that by accident and it just detaches. Well, unlocks, sorry. Get this frog out of my throat. So I can just press on that or I can press on the key. So I'll just press on the key. And it'll tell me ready to detach and boom, that's it. And now I have one of the most powerful thin laptops or tablets in the world. A quad core, like tablet, like unbelievable. Apparently you get about 4 hours battery. You can see the stubs here, they're higher, so it doesn't wobble as much. So to put it back, you just try this with two hands. How about that? Just put it there and it'll just automatically attach. There you go, attached, boom, and we're ready to rock. Yeah, as I said, did have a little bit of coil whine too when I had certain screens open, so it wasn't bad, just a little. So can you check the corner? Yeah, I checked the corner. I don't have that coding issue that you're talking about. So is these the corners you're talking about? Like these corners here, like they seem fine to me. I don't notice any coding missing. So I'll wrap it up here. Give me a like, guys, and I will have a review of this very soon. Headphone jack. The headphone jack is actually on the side of this, I think. Yeah, up here, right here. It's on the side here. The headphone jack, because it is a tablet, and the power button and volume rocker is here, up the top. Yeah, I better get to bed. Check later, guys. Oh, look at this. Primary adapter does not support 3D vision. I don't even know what the hell that means. All right, catch you in the next one, guys. And give me a like there if you can. See ya.